Hello, everyone. My name is Hikma. I'm part of the Sci-Fi Consortium at Médecine Paris Région. Welcome, everyone, for this webinar. We're going to give you an overview of what the Sci-Fi program is and what's to be expected on the second slide for this webinar. Martin will be giving you an introduction, while Victoria will be outlining the Sci-Fi program and give you insights on past editions. We are very happy to welcome also alumni speakers, Federica and Shadi, who took their time, their precious time, to give us an insight of their experience in the Sci-Fi program before giving you the floor for any questions that you might have for us. So we'll be here answering you in live. And we're hoping to keep this whole program under an hour. Just for your information, I think it's on the next slide. We are recording this webinar in order to be able to put it online on YouTube for other potential participants to be able to view. Please turn off your microphone when you're not speaking. And for the Q&A session, you can start already now by writing your questions on chat or raising your hand during the session and then unmuting yourself when you're given the floor. I'll now give the floor to Marcin, who is the activity leader of Sci-Fi from the Medical University of Łódź.
Okay, hello. So thank you, Hikma. My name is Marcin Szewski. Yes, I'm the Sci-Fi activity leader from the Center for Innovation and Technology Transfer of the Medical University of Łódź in Poland. I will give you the short introduction about the EIT Health and the consortium of our project. EIT Health, the project is co-funded by the European Union, by the EIT Health, one of the EIT agendas concentrated on health. EIT means European Institute of Innovation and Technology. So EIT Health is generally the network of, at this moment, over 200 partners from the whole of Europe, universities, industry partners, business partners, cities, NGOs, and so on and so on. The network which is concentrated on the innovation in the field of health. Our consortium, which created this project, consists of 16 partners. Let's concentrate now on the academic partners. So here, yes, the activity lead, the Medical University of Łódź, but also Friedrich Alexander Universitet Erlangen-Nürnberg, Maastricht University, Medical University of Gdańsk, University of Galway in Ireland, the institutes from Barcelona, Institute Mainz Telecom from France, and also, of course, non-academic partners, mainly here Boehringer Ingelheim, Research Center Vienna, also Philips, Medicine Paris region, also MADOPA from France, DEX Innovation Center from Czech Republic, and Fresh Blood, the innovation hub from Romania. Why we created Sci-Fi? Maybe let's start with this, that the edition in 2024 is the 4th edition of the project. We started in 2021, but the realization of this project was preceded by the quite comprehensive study in 2020. What is the gap between academia and industry? So many representatives of industrial partners, of generally industry, had some stereotypes, maybe right, maybe wrong, about the people who are working at the academia, young researchers. That, for example, the people who are concentrated on academia have different attitude to work, different priorities. They are concentrated on publications. they are lacking some competencies that are important for the industry. That's why we created the SciFi project to fill this gap between academia and industry and to facilitate your potential shift from one sector to another, to shift from academia to industry. Yes, here, as I said, some myths against PhD holders, but of course, those are only stereotypes that we saw during this study. That's why we decided to create this project. And Victoria will say you in details what kind of skills and competences you will get in the SciFi project. But to activate you also a bit, I would like to know more about you. So please go to the Menti.com and use this code, or you can use the QR code. And in a second, we'll start with the questions. Maybe give me a second to stop sharing my screen. The QR code will be visible in a second also from Menti screen, so no problem. And we are now here. So you can see again the QR code and the Menti code on the top. The code will be visible still, so we can go to the, hopefully, to the first question. Please tell us, where are you from? Okay, you can add more responses if you like. So the majority from Erlangen and from Gdańsk. Okay, so let's go to the next question. What is your professional background? Okay, any more responses? So the high variety of disciplines.
We also have someone from the chat saying cardiology.
Okay, add it to the list. Okay, so thank you very much. I will come back to the presentation in a second. Okay. Okay, and so Hikma, go on.
Thank you so much, Martin. It was also nice to see the background of the people present here. So for the edition 2024, what to expect, and how to apply, I'll let the floor to Victoria. Who is on mute.
Yes, I just had to say, somehow my unmute button didn't want to work. A warm, welcome to you all in this warm afternoon here in Erlangen. My name is Victoria Goldberg. I work at the Profile Center Medical Engineering at the Friedrich Alexander University in Erlangen, which is about 200 kilometers north of Munich. And everyone somehow knows Munich because of the Oktoberfest. I'll tell you a bit about the program. So as Martin already said, the SCI FI was created or thought of and created in 2020. We're in the midst of the pandemic. And we started with SCI FI completely online in the first year in 2021. What is it? It's a 3-month blended learning program. It always runs from August to December. So it's always that time bracket. And as Martin also mentioned before, what we really wanted is to bridge that gap between academia, because we had the feeling as we were asking people and PhDs and postdocs that they're really in a bubble, and they were very afraid to make that leap into industry. So we said, okay, we sat down and basically came up with various different modules, some core modules and bonus modules that would help you get certain skills to bridge this gap. Who can apply? So researchers who want to transition, and that can be in a year's time or in 1.5 years, but with a very, very keen interest to transition into industry. The majority of people who apply are actually PhD candidates, but we also have postdocs, and we also have clinicians, and we also have finished doctors. And as you saw from the Mentimeter, the range of people who applies is really diverse, and that's what makes the program really so interesting, because we've got people in medtech, pharma, and healthcare. As I was looking at your Menti results, you've got neuroscience, biotechnology, clinical studies, the cardiologist, I won't forget that one, a doctor, and also people from the medical device industry. And then we have got two learning tracks, we call them. The one is the light program, and the one is the full program. The light program, I'll start with that because that's basically like a big, massive online course, only that you have a start date and you also have a finish date. You have approximately 12 weeks of learning. You have 7 core modules, and then 5 bonus modules where you can choose on. You can also do all 5 bonus modules if you want to, and if you have the time. And you can also participate in the midterm event of the full program people, and there's also a recruitment event that we take part in with EIT Health. So this is really, it's an online course. You have reading material, you have little videos, you have little quizzes where you answer the quizzes, but it's really you do it, the modules open, and you do it in your time, and then another module opens. So this is when you've got about 1.5 hours max per week, where you say, hey, I could squeeze that in, and I've got enough time to do that. The full program is basically the whole light program, only there you have webinars as well. So to each of the modules, and also to some of the bonus modules, you have webinars. And you also have mentoring from industry. So we have Boehringer Ingelheim, who designates mentors for teams. So we group you into teams, normally about 5 or 6 people, as diverse as possible. So background diverse, nationality diverse, gender diverse, everything diverse. And you also have 3 events. So you have a kickoff event. This time it's going to be in Maastricht. Then you have a midterm event that's online, and then you have a final event in Gdansk. And at these events, you basically, so the first one, you get to know your team, you can select your case study, And then in the midterm and the final event, you then present your case study. And you, with the help of the modules, you basically build your case. You also have assignments, and you work on these assignments with your team, and you also get pitch training. And the time commitment here is 5 hours, but I say it 5 hours, it's an absolute bare minimum for 5 hours. And a lot of people, and I'm sure Frederica can say something about that, and Shadia, alumni as well, it is more. But it really depends how organized you are, how organized your team are, but that's the minimum. So those are the two tracks. This is what it looks like. So the structure, you've got communication and collaboration. These are your core, the 7 core modules: understanding your customer and design thinking, strategic management, project management, operational management, intellectual property rights, and then market access and pricing. So these are the 7 core modules that you do in the light program, naturally also in the full program as well. And then you've got more industry-specific modules like the medical device regulation, digital transformation, GDPR and patient data, clinical process, how to engage. Yeah, so those are the bonus modules, but as I say, you can do all 5 of them, but you don't have to do all 5 of them. Then the full program, and so the same structure, you have the same modules as well, only as I mentioned before, you've got the kickoff event in Maastricht, so from the 21st to the 23rd of August. Then you've got the mentoring in between, you've got the midterm presentation that is online, and then in December, the final event in Gdansk. A lot of people say, oh, what if we can't make it to the event? I mean, you'll be working in a team. So if you, from the beginning onwards, say, actually, I can't make the event, the kickoff event, it really is crucial that you are there. I mean, of course, there's always like sometimes a family emergency or medical emergency, but it really makes sense to meet your team, to meet the mentors, to meet your case providers. So that just as a small note on the side. This looks super complicated. I think it's more or less just trying to show you that the modules are always open on a Friday. And we did that especially so that you've also got a bit of the weekend. So if you say, oh, I know it's going to be a really busy week, we opened it over the weekend so that you could say, you know, okay, we'll catch up with the videos and reading material at the weekend already. And then normally it differs on modules. Some modules are 1 week, some modules go over 2 weeks, and then at the end of the module always have a webinar, and either you have to present or assignment, or it's like a Q&A with the specialists who created the modules. And we have industry cases. So we organize industry partners to present a real life case that they think is important. So we had BI, Roche, Novartis. Actually, from 2023, we actually had 5 cases, but here are just 3 examples. So we had Boehringer Ingelheim, that was on heart failure and patient focus. Then Novartis was adherence to just discharge protocols and patient follow-ups. And then we also had Siemens Healthineers early detection and diagnosis of breast cancer in patients. So you then sit down as a team if you go for the full program and decide, okay, which cases would you like to work on? You always work on one, and then you basically rank 1, 2, 3. This would be my first choice. It's great because it's really based on a real and unsolved problem, and the case study providers also are there for supporting and mentoring and also helping. If you've got any questions, they will be present at the kickoff event and also at the midterm event, and hopefully also at the final event. And as mentioned, we really like to have multidisciplinary teams because it just helps so much with trying to think out of that bubble that one, you know, is in, and to have this different views and different opinions. So the program structure, as you can see, so the light program is the 7 core online modules, the industry modules, industry-specific modules. Sorry, I get it out yet. And you can also listen into the mid-program presentation of the full program people, so you can just hear, you know, what have they been working on, what they were doing on the case studies. And the participation fee for the light program is 150 euros. And for the full program, it's 500 euros. However, till the 30th, there is an early bird discount. So you can get 20% off and only pay 400 euros. And the hotel is included. You have to organize your own travel and also pay for your own travel, but the hotel in Maastricht and Gdansk will be reserved and booked and also paid. So you just have to organize your travel. And just at the side, we could never offer this price without being subsidized by EIT Health and also by the European Union. So it really, in what you get is it's an amazing value for money. Then we do realize that some people might not have the money to pay 400 euros, and we do have sponsored spots. We have 5 sponsored spots for risk countries, and risk countries, there's a list on EIT Health, and there's also a link on the website as well, of the SciFi website, like Bulgaria, Croatia, Estonia, Greece, Spain, etc. And we also have sponsored spots, 5 sponsored spots for the full program. For Ukrainian researchers, all we need is really the proof of ID when you register via the registration link. And for the light program, we said that Ukrainian researchers are absolutely free to join, but we would also need a proof of ID. And we've also had some cases where people still did not fit in those 2 categories, and they still reached out and said, look, would it be possible? And we really try to get everyone on board. So if you say, oh my God, I don't fit in any of those categories, still go and reach out to us. And we always manage somehow to find a solution. Martin, huh?
Yes, exactly.
So some facts a bit. So last year, our cohort, we had 98 researchers from 37 different nationalities. And this is what I really love about it. It's great. It's super diverse. Everyone has their own ideas, own nationalities, different countries, different healthcare system. That's really super. I'm very, very proud that 61% are female, which is really super. And as said before, most of them with PhD. All of them said they improved their skill set. All of them would recommend the program to friends and peers, and 86% said the program was excellent and good. We also track our alumni. And for the 2 years, so 2023 is still a bit too young, but for 2021 and 2022, we've had 53 researchers transition to industry and 36 researchers who changed or transitioned within academia, so somewhere to another country or another institute. And I mean, these are just some of the top-notch companies that people have changed into. So Novartis, Munich Re, Shadi will tell you more about that, Boehringer Ingelheim, Roche, Amgen, BioNTech. We also had United Nations, Thermo Fisher, Varian. So the list is long, and people also go into medium-sized companies, but also startups. So it's a really nice, diverse range of transitions. So what you get, I mean, I've already said everything more or less. I really want to highlight that for the full program, it is definitely, the networking is immense. I mean, the networking with industry partners, the networking with, your research peers throughout the whole of Europe. That is something super, and we still see on LinkedIn people are still, the alumni still like each other's comments, or follow what other people are doing and comment on that, and it's like a big alumni community, and that's something that is that we are all really, really proud of to see that is happening, and we really celebrate each transition. We are happy about and celebrate as well. For instance, we had Ronald. I think Ronald was 2021 or 2021 alumni, University of Warsaw. He took part in EIT Health Jumpstarter program, which is like a startup program, and with his team won 3rd prize. And then the next slide, we've got Shadi, who's also there today. He was telling us about his alumni. Also at 21, he was speaking about the sci-fi program in his interview with the Munich Re, and actually got the position at Munich Re. So I'm sure he'll tell you a bit about his transition. And then the next success story is from last year. We had a team who were pitching their case study with their team, and another startup program, so not really linked to EIT Health, but Celestinos, another startup program, actually watched in because they said, look, we're interested, we'd like to hear the presentations. And they were so positive about the presentations that they contacted Gia and also Gergo and said, hey, you two, don't you want to take part in the startup program with your idea and continue your idea? So it's really just nice to see what other people have gone on to do, and to go on with their idea. And yeah, generally we really have fun. We enjoy the kickoffs and also the final events. We have a good time. We also make sure that there's a lot of social time, and we had a paella workshop the last time in Barcelona. So we always make sure that you've got enough time to network with people and have fun as well. So application. Registrations are open. We've got another webinar on the 6th of May, so please do share with people. Registration closes on the 31st of May, and then we try and, we rank your incoming applications. And then hopefully by the end of July, all the contracts are signed and fees are paid. And now I am going... Oh, I'll pass on to... I'll pass on to Hikma. If you've got any questions, do shout out. There's also a Q&A also on the website as well, but please don't hesitate to reach out to either of us and if you've got any specific questions, yeah, we're here to help.
Thank you so much, Victoria, for giving us such a detailed insight on the program. So in a nutshell, with our sci-fi program, you don't only work closely with the industry on a real-life case, industry case, network and benefit from mentoring to be better equipped for your future transition to industry. But with sci-fi, as Victoria said, you're also in a multicultural setting, and we tend to have a lot of fun. I'm sure that Federica and Shadi will agree with me on that. Federica and Shadi, who are the sci-fi alumni from previous editions. Let's start with you, Federica. Thank you so much for joining us today. The floor is yours. Maybe you can start by introducing yourself, your background, why you joined Sci-Fi, and how was your experience. And those who are present today, please don't hesitate to ask your question to Federica in chat or by raising your hands when she's done.
Sure. Thank you. So I'm Federica Forlanetto. I am a PhD student in Langen, and but I'm Italian. I was part of a team last year. I did the full program, and we end up also winning the competition at the end. But I have to say that I was super lucky to be in a very nice team. Because what I want to stress in this little talk that I'm giving is that it will be a teamwork. And I really enjoyed it a lot, meaning that I wanted to join the program because I had zero clue about industry, and more than that, how to pass from academia to industry. And also my teammates had absolutely no idea. They were all PhD students towards the end of the PhD. And somehow we all had no clue. And so with this program, we had a really good background in some of the most important topics, I guess, in industry. And what I understood was that then it's up to you on how to use your resources and the resources that this program gives you, meaning that you have a certain time, as Victoria explained, to look at the material and complete the assignments. But then at the end of the material, there are also other resources like books, articles, interviews, YouTube videos where you can improve even more your knowledge if you're interested. So overall, I think this was a very good starting point that gives a bit of a background of this industry environment that for somebody coming from academia is very much different. Also, I had a case on a completely different topic than what I have studied or ever read about. So I do neuroscience, and my case study was from Czech Republic, Novartis, and it was about cardiology. So something that I have absolutely nothing about, but then I anyway managed step by step through the modules to delve into the different topics and to further my knowledge. Another thing that I can suggest that we did in my team was to share the position of leader, meaning that every module we would choose a different leader among us that would lead the team to accomplish the module for that week or weeks. And that gave us all the opportunity to be in a leading role and to manage the project for that week. So yes, overall, I would also suggest to really take advantage of the webinar session where you really have the possibility to ask questions and interact with your mentors or with the expert of that module, because that's really the moment to ask questions and to give as much information as you can. And I would really suggest this program to whoever is interested in transitioning from academia to industry.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Federica, for this precious feedback and for taking your time to be here with us today. Shadi, I know you're in Greece and having a great time, and thank you so much for taking your precious time from Greece to be with us today. So maybe Federica, if you can please start by introducing yourself, your background, explain a bit why you joined SCI and how was experience, like the added value, etc. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So my name is Shadi. I'm from the alumni from SCI FI from 2021. I was in the first SCI program, and what I'm doing now, I'm actually an underwriter in Munich Re. It's a reinsurance company. Maybe I will just talk a bit more about it later. I did my PhD in neuroscience. Actually, it's funny that I did my PhD in the lab next to Federica. Actually, I decided in the beginning in 2021 to join SCI FI because I wanted to move to industry. I did not know how, and I saw that so many big companies are part of the program, like Boehringer Ingelheim, Roche, and Novartis. And I thought, at this time, that would be nice to get insights from experts from those companies to know how should I make this move. And actually, SCI FI helped me to take the decision actually to move to the even business part of the health industry, and that's why I decided to move to apply for positions like where I'm accepted now in Munich Re. So just maybe a bit about my company. It's a reinsurance company. It's the world leading reinsurance company. And I'm in the life and health department, and an underwriter means, for people who does not know it, it's like a risk analysis for all kind of things that has to do with life and health insurances. My role has something also so much to do with data analysis and so on. And maybe I would just talk a bit how SCI FI helped me to make this move. So actually, I find the program really very important for PhD students because it just shows in your CV that you are serious about this move. The reason why you need to be serious about it, because actually, also when I was in the interview phase, there are so many positions that they have hundreds of applications, and I think for a company it's important that this person is serious about this move, has some experience with most of the PhD students. Actually, they have it. We are qualified for those positions, but we lack actually the ability to show that we have this experience and we have those skills that are important for the health industry. And I think SciFi really helps us to show the skills that we already have. Yeah, I think. What can I say more? Maybe also how SciFi helped me in the interview. Maybe I mentioned it also in the last SciFi when I joined in the last session in Erlangen. Actually, I mentioned the SciFi in the interview, and I was surprised that the interviewer was very interested in this experience. When he started asking me how was the team dynamics, how did you manage those problems and this kind of problems in the team and so on. Yeah, and in this part, it was really like, it took almost 10 or 15 minutes part of my interview where we talked about the team dynamics, what I did in this program and so on. So it was really helping me. Yeah. And that's it. That's what I can talk about my experience. And if anybody wants to contact me for on LinkedIn, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much for your time, Shadi, and for this precious insight. Maybe since there is no questions actually on the chat here, maybe we can go with our Q&A session and the few questions that we prepared. Those are the questions that usually come from participants from previous editions. We can maybe start with those questions, but don't forget you can ask your questions in the chat box, or you can raise your hand and I'll give you the floor. Now is the time to interact, to let us know if our presentation was clear enough, if you had any questions, even targeted questions. On some specifics for the program, you are free to ask. For the Q&A session, I'll give the floor to Gail and Marcin. Maybe Gail, you can just introduce yourself quickly before taking over with the Q&A.
Yeah. Hi everyone. So my name is Gail Michel. I work with Hikma at Médecins Paris Région, which is the Paris region health cluster regrouping around 500 members, mainly industry stakeholders. So yeah, sorry, my job is communications project manager, and in the SciFi program, just so that you know, Medicine is in charge of the communications and promotion strategy. So yeah, I'm gonna go through these questions. Do not hesitate to use the chat, and okay, let's go. So should I apply for both programs in case I don't get into the full program? No, in case you are not selected for the full program, we will ask you if you want to take part in the light program, which has no restrictions on the numbers of places. For the full program, only 50 participants can take part. We can go to the next question. Price is too expensive for me. Can I get financial help? So we are currently offering a special early bird price, as Victoria said before, of 400 euros until April 30, only for the full program. And as some of you still might struggle with the participation fee, we're offering a limited numbers of spots, so 10 in total for the full program. So as it was mentioned before, 5 spots sponsored for applicants from RIS countries, and 5 further spots for Ukrainian researchers. And In the recruitment form, you will have to explain your current situation, economic situation, and provide proof of your country of residence, and also upload a letter of recommendation from a supervisor of your current institute.
Thank you, Gail. I see we have a question in the chat from Ekaterina. Hello, my name is Ekaterina and I'm from Romania. I'm currently a medical doctor undergoing my residency in public health. While I do not hold a PhD or a position as a PhD candidate, I have clinical background and some experience research. Could this qualify me for the full program? And I see that Victoria just replied to Ekaterina. If you want to say something more, Victoria, please.
Yeah, Katarina, you definitely qualify. So we always have, I don't know, 2 to 5 doctors who also take part in the SCI full program. So you wouldn't be the only and the first doctor applying as well. So you definitely qualify as well.
Okay.
Thank you, Victoria.
Oh, I think there is another question. We actually, yeah, you can wait. So I'm reading the question. Thank you for the presentation. It was very insightful. Could also graduates without an ongoing PhD apply? Yes, you can, and we also welcome PhD candidates to apply as well, like ongoing. I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah, so you're also eligible to apply, Monica.
Yeah, if I could just add to that, we also, I mean, the majority are really PhD candidates, but we have also MSCs candidates as well who have applied, especially if they've got a bit of research background as well. So definitely welcome.
Okay, thank you. So I go to the next question. Do I have to participate in all events, webinars, and complete all assignments? Yes, we highly recommend that you take part in all events and webinars, and this is the way you will interact with the specialists and consequently gain a deeper understanding of the module topics. We can go to the next question. On what basis will we be selected? So for the light program, all applicants that fit the background criteria will be selected, so based on the questionnaire. And for the full program, applicants will be selected on the following criteria. So personal motivation, fit to the program, and ability to communicate based on your application and the submitted video. We can go to the next one. I have a master's degree, but still would like to take part. Is that possible? Yes, you can, if you can demonstrate that you have at least 1 to 2 years experience in research in the medtech, pharma, or any other healthcare related field.
We don't have any questions in the chat box.
Yeah,
we can.
Yes,
there is one question. It's from Suhail.
So hi, regarding the financial help, I'm a PhD student in the Pharmaceutical Technology Department, Medical University of Gdańsk. I am origin from Syria. It's not clear for me if I can benefit for any financial help.
Okay, I cannot hear that. Yes, because you are a student in Poland. Poland is also regarded as a risk country. So yes, you can benefit also from the sponsor spots for these countries.
Okay. Then we can maybe move on to the last question.
This question is last one.
Yeah, sorry. So I don't have an educational background in healthcare. Can I still apply? So that depends on the area of research that you are currently conducting. And if you have sufficient research experience in the field of medtech, pharma, and or healthcare, then it shouldn't be a problem, and you just have to make sure to highlight it in your application.
So thank you so much, Gail. I think someone just raised their hands. Yes, you have the floor, Lawrence.
Yeah, thank you. My question was regarding the case studies. For me, it's right now not really clear. Is it like, I call it a cold case from them? So is it like Boehringer couldn't solve a problem? Is it a solved problem from Boehringer? Or is it like an ongoing problem? Or how do we have imagined the case? Because currently I'm not really sure what I have to expect. Yeah, also like the field. Yeah.
Perhaps if I can answer that. Thank you, Lawrence, for your question. So it really depends on the cases that we have. So last year, as I mentioned, we had 5 cases, and it was really different from each case provider. So I think the breast cancer was really is of course an ongoing health problem. Siemens Healthineers, they also have like a patient journey, and they had a gap in a patient journey and said, look, this is where we would need support. Then Deloitte was very, very specific. They were trying to track side effects from oncology medication, and they already had a system, and they had very specific ideas and wanted more fresh ideas. So it really depends on the case study provider, and Dex Innovation, who is a big case study organizer, is in the process now, so we can't really tell you who is on board 100% with which case, because that's an ongoing process till you start in August. But it makes it's interesting, and it's definitely you have to think out of the box. Some are very specific and narrow, some are very, very broad, and you go and you say, okay, we're going to go and focus on a small niche or a region. It's really up to you and your team. Did that answer your question, Lawrence, or do you need more?
Yeah, kind of. For me, for example, the Siemens Healthineers part. Since I'm from Erlangen, I'm aware what Siemens Healthineers is doing, and for example, they have like pattern recognition in MRI images, and since this was this breast cancer case, I was confused. Do I now need to learn how to code and how I recognize, or how do I have to imagine how I can contribute in this field? Because this is currently a bit confusing for me how this looks like.
No, so you have this case, and you try to come up with a solution. I mean, a solution that is, you've got 3 months to work on the solution, and of course you won't start coding stuff. You might, create a mock-up prototype if it's possible, depending what you want to, what direction you are going in. But you use this case study as a framework to then go through the various different modules and say, okay, who would I speak to in terms of, customers or patients? How would I engage people in terms of market research? How would I validate the idea? And that's like the step-for-step process through all these various different modules, and also the bonus modules as well. And you build that case till the midterm event, where you do your first presentation, then you get feedback, and then you build a final presentation for the final event. But you also get like pitching support from a specialist from Boehringer Ingelheim, who spends time with you as a team and says, okay, this is what you should look, or this is where you should clarify. And yeah, but you don't have, my God, no, you don't have to learn to code or write codes.
Okay, yeah, a bit more clear. Thanks.
Thank you. Do you have like any other questions before concluding this webinar? No, it seems that Martin and Victoria, you were very, very clear.
We hope.
Maybe we can have like the last slides for the contacts. So yes, I'll say thank you. Thank you for taking the time to be here today. If you have additional questions on the program, you can always reach out to us, contact us. You have like Martin and Victoria's mail on the screen. So don't forget, joining SCI is joining a program where you work closely with the industry, where you're mentored by them on your transition and network closely with them. So I hope we see you in this fourth edition. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And a big shout out and thank you to the alumni. Ashadi's already left already. Federica, thank you so much for your time as well.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you very
Bye.
much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.